Do you know where you should place a product description on your Shopify product page? Because the answer to that question was worth $760,000 a year in additional revenue just from moving a text block to a different position on the page. But here is what makes this Shopify conversion rate experiment really interesting. In 1979, Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky proved something that changed economics forever. They discovered that losing $100 hurts psychologically twice as much as gaining $100 feels good. We are not rational creatures. We are loss-averse creatures. We don't chase gain, we run from loss. Now think about what that means for your Shopify product page. What if you could make a shopper feel like they would be losing something by not buying, just by changing the order in which they encounter information? That's exactly what happened in this experiment. Before I show you the experiment, I want to share something important about how this was done. The experiment was built and launched entirely through AI. No designers, no developers, no waiting weeks for a mockup to get approved and coded. The CRO software I use is not publicly available yet. Right now, only members of my private community can access it. And compared to traditional CRO setups where you might pay thousands of dollars per month in salaries or agency fees and wait weeks just to get a single test live, AI CRO changes everything. You go from hypothesis to live experiment in matter of clicks. The difference in speed and costs is abnormal. The test I ran was called product description placement, and the concept was as simple as it sounds. I noticed that many e-commerce stores use a default layout like product image, product name, price, variant selectors, add to cart button, and then below all of that, below default, goes product description. You have to scroll down to read the story, the details, the reason to buy. I tested one change, moving the description up, not replacing the button, not changing the price, not redesigning the page, just repositioning the product story so that it appeared between the price and buy options, meaning a visitor could read why this product was worth buying before they had to make any decision at all. This Shopify A/B test had serious sample size, 222,000 visitors, 111,000 in the version A and 111,000 in the version B of the conversion rate optimization experiment. If we look at add-to-cart rate, it's actually dropped. Version A, our original version, was at 1588%. The version B came in at 1458%. Fewer people clicked on Add to Cart. If you had stopped the test right there and only looked at that number, you would have killed this experiment. You would have called it as a loss. Here is why that would have been the wrong call. When the description sits below default, some visitors click Add to Cart before they read a single word about the product. Pure impulse. Those are low intent carts. They abandon at checkout, they bounce, they inflate your add to cart rate and disappoint you at the revenue level. When the description moves up before the button, something different happens. Visitors who aren't genuinely interested read the story, they quietly leave before clicking anything. That's not lost traffic, that's unqualified traffic self-selecting out before it wastes your checkout. The visitors who stay and click, they are already convinced. They process the value, they are committed buyers, not browsers. Fewer clicks, better clicks, and that difference showed up everywhere that actually matters. Purchase conversion rate went from 2.67% to 2.90%, 8.6% lift. AOV went from $161.34 to $163.21. Buyers spent more per order. Total revenue, our control version got $480,000 versus our variant B, our experiment, received $527,000. That's $46,000 in additional revenue in 45 days. Revenue per visitor jumped from $4.31 to $4.73, a 9.7% improvement in how hard every session was working for the business. If you roll this out to 100% of traffic, that's 0.42 cents lift per visitor multiplied across a full year of traffic, it becomes $760,000 in additional annual revenue. Every single money metric improved. Let's go back to Kahneman and Tversky. Their research, which eventually won a Nobel Prize, showed that humans are fundamentally asymmetric in how we process gains and losses. The pain of losing something is roughly twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining something equivalent. This is why we stay in situations that aren't working, because leaving feels like loss, even when staying is objectively worse. Now apply that to a product page. When a visitor lands and sees an image, a price, and a button, that's it. They are making a decision based on the surface level information. They have no mental connection to the product, no investment, no sense of what they would be missing. Clicking away costs them nothing psychologically, so they leave. But when the same visitor reads the product description before they decide, when they understand what makes it different, what it does, why it exists, what they would gain from owning it, something shifts. Now clicking away has a cost. They are not just closing a tab, they are walking away from something they have already mentally engaged with. They have invested attention, they have processed the value, and according to loss aversion theory, that investment makes leaving feel like a loss, even if they never consciously articulate it. Here's the question I want you to sit with after watching this video. Where is your product description right now? Is it visible above the fold, readable without scrolling, positioned before the add to cart, or it's buried below the button, collapsed inside an accordion that most visitors never open? If it's below the fold, here is what's happening on your store right now. A significant percentage of your visitors are making their buy or leave decision without even reading your strongest sales argument. They are judging your product on an image and a price. And that's the weakest possible version of your pitch. The description is your sales conversation, is the thing that answers the question your shopper is silently asking before they decide. And if that conversation is happening after the decision point instead of before it, you're leaving money on the table every single day. This is especially true if your product has a differentiator that isn't visible from the image alone. If the reason someone should choose your product over a cheaper alternative requires words, quality, process, uniqueness, value, then those words needs to be where the decision happens, not 3 scrolls below it. And at this moment, I'm not even asking if you actually test your titles and descriptions. This could be another gold mine. If you want to see more conversion rate experiments for your Shopify store, subscribe to my channel, drop a comment below on what conversion rate experiment you would like to see next. If you want to learn more about conversion rate optimization and many other digital marketing strategies on a deeper level, join my Extend e-commerce club. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.